This pouch from Evergoods has been an essential part of my workflow for the last 12 months that I have owned it. And in that time, I've also come to appreciate just how well designed it is. Specifically, one feature that I think is absolutely brilliant and has completely changed my expectations for tech pouches like this. And that feature is the zipper. So unlike other tech pouches that are traditionally one zipper down the center of the bag, like this Peak Design tech pouch right here, very simple, very classic, just it's a tech pouch. This is a very well-designed tech pouch as well, but that central zipper is kind of the, default standard that a lot of different bag manufacturers will use. What Evergoods did is, to me, just so simple yet brilliant. And I know I say simple, but I'm sure it took a ton of R&D to get this right. But you can kind of see right here, that little I don't know what you call it, like the little silhouette where the zipper goes. It's at a 45-degree angle. It's interesting. That's not like centered down the bag. Well, the reason it's at a 45-degree angle is because when you open it like that, and then just with a little tilt of my hand, you can see it sits like a perfect little triangle. And that means, you probably can't see it too well. That means when it's sitting on my desk right here, I can see everything inside of it really easily. Now that decision, in my opinion, completely changes the way that you get to interact with this pouch. And I think it also gives us a lot of insight into what Evergoods designers were thinking when they first made this. Because if they wanted to just create, a standard pouch to transport stuff from A to B, they could have easily just done like what most people do, just a standard zipper down the center and call it a day. Transport stuff from point A to point B, simple. With this design and the way that it unfolds and the way that it sits, this clearly is meant to be more than just something to transport things from point A to point B. I think it's actually meant to be a companion piece for you when you get to whatever that destination is. And just look at it. I mean, it's clearly made to be used like a desk organizer, a desk accessory. I kind of think of it as like my little command center when I'm using it, depending on where I'm using it at. It has so much clear functionality to be able to access and get eyes on all the things that you need to use in your workday. Now, there's a few reasons why I think this is so brilliant, and also why I think it helps us beyond just being like this cool, obviously it looks really cool. It's fun to use. But beyond that, there's a few benefits that I think it offers. One, I've noticed that I've forgotten things less, because if I'm just using this as kind of my main in and out point with all of my stuff day in, day out, it's this one centralized location for me to keep all of my things. It's transporting my stuff from, studio to home, but it's also the thing that when I need to access and work with all of these objects that I'm using on a day-to-day basis, this is the only place that I'd be using it in. There's no question about that. It's not like, I had to, put some of my notebooks and chargers in the front pocket of my backpack, but then I also had some stuff in my water bottle pocket for some reason. And then I also just threw whatever was left in the roll top as I was out the door. This really, I think, declutters your life in a really big way, because it is not just, again, moving stuff from point A to point B, but it's also the main access point, the main work point for you when you are at your destination. So it naturally encourages you to just be putting things in and out of strictly this. And by nature of that, I think you forget things less because it's all organized in that one central location. Additionally, I also think because it is this kind of it's like a cute little buddy, like this little thing that you get to take with you everywhere you go. I think because of this and like the way that you get to interact with it, it becomes this thing that kind of grounds you wherever you're working from. So, I'm filming in my studio right now, but it still gives me like a sense of belonging here. Like I'll put it on my desk and it feels like, okay, as soon as I unzip this, I'm ready for the workday. And I think that feeling goes even further when, I'm at a coffee shop, I'm on an airplane, I'm working from a friend's house, I'm working from a friend's studio, whatever it is, this thing is the constant in all of those situations. And what it allows me to do is just feel kind of grounded in each of those environments. Really all I need is my laptop and this tech organizer, and I'm good to go. It transforms an otherwise, nondescript corner table at a coffee shop into something that feels like yours. Laptop, got my pouch out, unzipped, ready to go. You can see all my stuff in here. It feels like you're kind of almost like creating your own custom desk out of any surface that exists. And I think there's something really powerful about that. I think it can mentally help you get into a headspace that is geared for working more quickly, because it's a little less like distracting, a little less nondescript, again, to use that word. It becomes a place that you feel like you belong in a little bit more because you have this thing that is essentially giving you that feeling of belonging. And then, this last thing is a little more superficial, but I also just love that because of this zipper design, you can use it one-handed really easily. You just flip it open, see what's going on in here with your you can kind of see it, like holding this base really, really easily. See all your stuff in here and then just fold it back up, zip it, and you're good to go. That's not the case for a lot of pouches that have, again, that centralized zipper. You kind of have to keep both sides open so you can actually see everything inside of it and then rummage around. And it's a small thing, but it really does make a difference. And there's actually been so many times where I've been trying to get something really quickly, whether like I'm on a photo shoot or working on a project or just need to access something that's in here quickly, getting it out of my backpack, opening it up, one hand, very simple, can see everything very clearly, get it folded back up, good to go. I think this thing is really just so clearly designed, not just to hold your stuff, but to actually be used by you in a very engaged capacity every day. And even just the fact that we get like grab handles on the bottom and top of the bag too, the fact that there's even an additional little quick access pocket here. So this pocket is part of the dimension that's built into the bag, but you can just access any like quick stuff that you need. If you don't want to have to go through the process of opening up the whole thing, you can just get into that pocket right there really easily. And then you can kind of see it's this part that has that top quick access zipper. So anything that goes in there, you can quick access without even opening the bag. And then tons of really good dividers and webbing and padding. It's like a really sturdily built bag that you could put precious things in here if you really needed to. I've actually, in one configuration, emptied everything out and had a small compact camera in there. And then in a different circumstance, had a camera lens nestled in here because this divider can kind of move around. It's just really well designed. There's not much more I can say about it other than just like completely nerding out and giving it its flowers because it is so thoughtful and so fun to use. I think that's the biggest thing about stuff like this is, I still use this Peak Design pouch. I still love it very much. I just use it for different purposes now. But this used to be like my daily driver for 6 or 7 years, I think I've had it for. And it's great. And there's a lot of elements of it that I really enjoyed, but there's like a certain kind of spark of joy that I feel every time I use this Evergoods pouch, because it just feels like it's like every step of the way when I'm using something, I can appreciate a moment of interaction with it and think, oh, like there was someone with a pen and paper, like very clearly sketching this out and thinking through all of this and going through all the iterations of how this would be a really pleasant user experience. And it's that stuff that really just gets me so fired up, because I think that the empathy that it takes to create something like this and to think outside the box and, make something that people are really going to like love using. It takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of empathy. And in this case, I just think this little pouch of all things is such a clear indicator of that. I will be doing another video in the future about this, about specifically how I kit this out for the things that I use as a graphic designer. I will share a photo here showing you kind of like what at a broad level I can fit into this every day if you are interested in the capacity of it. But Honestly, I wasn't really making this video as a really in-depth review, so much as just kind of highlighting this one specific design decision, this zipper, the way that it unfolds and everything, and just talking about that because I really like come alive talking about design, whether that's graphic design, product design, you name it. I just love this stuff so much, and I thought talking about this one feature today on this pouch would be, I don't know, just something really fun to share with all of you. And that's why I made it. That's really it. So thanks for watching. If you're interested in more stuff like this, please subscribe to the channel because I will be making a lot more videos in the future about design and notebooks and like these cool little gadgets and tools that we use in our work lives every day. And again, this is the stuff that just gets me really excited. It's very nerdy, I know, but hey, if that's you, I think you'll have a really good time on this channel. So thanks for being here. Thanks for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.